This next demo is the Egyptian spiral, and the Egyptian spiral can look all kinds of different ways. This one's a little bit uneven, but it's a little tricky to get even. When you're making an Egyptian spiral, you want to have a bunch of them that you're about to put together. They're going to go together like hooks. So when you bend them, you need to make sure that they all look like this. I'll show you how to bend them in just a second, but all of them should be bent so that the loop is going to be hanging just below the spirals here, because then that loop is going to go into the next one. So meaning you're going to hook this into the one right above it. Goes here. So you're going to be taking this back part right here and insert it sort of sideways into the next one so that it just hangs from it like this. So they all hang sideways. Once they're all together, they'll get flattened. They'll get squished together like that. So that way they'll stay closed. But there has to be some room for them to move around a little bit. So now, let me just show you. So this is one before it's been bent, and I'll show you how to make one a length that looks just like this. You're going to cut a bunch of things that are about 4 to 4.5 inches long or so. Just cut several of them. So they're all going to be ending up the same size. And take round nose pliers like this, and then you just bend this right in half so that there's a loop right here. So keep that. Don't squeeze that closed. If they're a little bit off, that's totally fine. If you have some cutters nearby, which I don't, you can cut that off. But this is not so extreme, so it's not a very big deal. So you're going to take these round nose pliers that I have right on the end, and you will start curling them upward. So you just grab them just like this, and you curl them so that it's doing that. And you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So you just take it and you curl it. If you want them to be more closed, you can always take the pliers and you can squeeze it so that it's a little bit more closed. You can make it so that it's all the way. There's no space right in there. That's totally fine. Do that on both sides. Doesn't really matter. These ones are not super closed. They're kind of open in there. But the ones in the examples are a little bit more closed, but whatever. Just try and keep them consistent. So then you are going to be grabbing this from the side. You're going to use either the chain nose pliers like that I have right here, or you're going to use the flat nose pliers. And you clamp onto them and you start winding them. So you're curling them into a spiral. Then you do the same thing on the opposite side. So you curl them sideways, curl them upward so they're like a weird looking mustache. So that's what you've got. And so you want them to be the same size, relatively same size. Make a bunch of them. It's probably going to take maybe 5 or 6 of them to make a sample. A 3-inch sample. So then from here, this is where you would bend them, right in the middle. So you grab onto them using the round nose pliers, round nose right here, and then just push these so that they are bending closed, bending right in half. And then, you have to shape them just a little bit. The wire is still soft, so it's very easy. So you can pinch this part, but leave this part open. You don't want this loop part here to be hanging too far down. You just want it to be sort of like, here are 2 crazy eyes and here's a nose. So it's just some little weird character here. And then once you get them all together, then you just take this part. And it's a little hard to do once you've already squashed these, but I'm going to just shove this one through here, and then that's what you've got. That's what it looks like on the opposite side. Link them all together and you have a sample. this hooks into this loop. So you kind of take it sideways and you are hooking them into one another. Yeah, so you kind of have to do it a little bit sideways, but it does work. It just takes a sec once you get it through there. I promise you, I swear it works. All right, there we go. So you hook one into the other like that. So then sideways, you can kind of see what they look like. They are a hook and then another hook. So this hook hooks into the loop of the previous one. And then when you have a whole section of them, when you have a whole line of them, then you press down. And when you press down, then they stay together. They're all flat, but the hooks hook into one another.